There are various ways to go about how you can save money while traveling in India, but the most seamless way is to start with proper planning. Since India is a country of diversity and extremely different cultures and weather, when you decide to travel across India, you need to understand that sacrificing on your experience is not worth it since you will end up missing out on more things than what you would ideally want to do. Since in India most things come at a price, everything is paid, there are very few things that would be free, but we have listed 15 points that will definitely help make your travel around India more affordable and help you save money when you're traveling around the country. Number 1 is traveling during off season. Traveling in the off season to any destination is the single most affordable way to save money and at the same time to make it a more peaceful and stress free experience. The reason I'm saying this is because if you take Himachal Pradesh as an example, it is the month of June, which is typically the peak season as of now, and the last week of December. If you're going to be traveling during that season, the peak season, a basic room which would otherwise cost you 800 to 1000 rupees in off season, during the season time that same room will cost you anywhere between 3000 to 5000 rupees. The Volvo bus from Delhi to Manali, which will cost you in the off season around again 1000 1200 rupees, will cost you in the season anywhere between 2500 to 3000 rupees for a seat. Along with this, you have to add the fact that the taxi cost will be inflated, and most of all you'll waste a lot of your time during season just being stuck in traffic jams, because the traffic jams are endless. You can be stuck in a traffic jam for anywhere between, I would say, half an hour to even up to 9 10 hours. People have been stuck even all night in a traffic jam at Rotang Pass. Now this is not only with regards to Manali, but it is also in places like Goa, in the northeastern part of India, also like Meghalaya has a lot of crowd in the season. Ladakh faces the same issue, and even Rajasthan for that matter. So it is always better to pick the off season or the shoulder season, that is just before the start of season, where you'll get a more affordable and a better deal as compared to going during the season time. Number two is booking train tickets instead of taking the flights. Now, if you check out the flight ticket from Bombay to Delhi or from Bombay to Leh, it is going to scare you, because the flight ticket will be roughly anywhere between 6,000 to 10,000 from Bombay to Delhi sector, and Bombay to Leh could be anywhere between 8 to 15,000. So what is the way around it? The way around it is to book a train to Delhi or to Chandigarh, which will cost you half the cost of this. You'll get a good, I would say, Rajdhani train ticket for anywhere between 3 to 3,500. This is a 3 AC ticket, which is excellent because you'll get your meals with it and you'll also get a confirmed seat, provided that you book at least 60 days in advance. That is when the booking window opens for the particular day of travel. Number three is using public transport. Now, the best way to get around India and to save money is to use public transport. There is public transport available. I would say in 99% of India, you can get around as a tourist using public transportation. That is a combination of the local trains, buses, government and private sector buses, and in certain places, remote parts, you'll also get shared sumos or jeeps which will take you from one place to another. They charge you per person. There are only two places that come to my mind where public transport isn't effective, and that is, one is Ladakh and the second one is Meghalaya. These are two places where you'll have to hire a taxi or rent a bike to get around, because there is no form of public transportation. But everywhere else you can get onto a public vehicle and get along. Number four is your accommodation. Now this is where most people end up spending a bomb, because they choose fancy hotels, and that's where your entire budget for your holiday goes out of balance and you end up burning a hole in your wallet. So what's the way around it? If you're a solo traveler, there are plenty of hostels. The hostel culture has really picked up in India. There are hostels pretty much everywhere. Every tourist destination today has a hostel in India. So regardless of where you're traveling, you will find a hostel. Make sure that you book a bed beforehand so that you are not stranded when you go there because it's overcrowded. Along with this, if you're going as a couple or with your friends or as a family, you can book a villa or you can book a homestay depending on your preference. My personal recommendation always to families is book a homestay, because that's a more viable way to travel with your children, since they will get a real authentic experience of what the place is by living with another family. Homestays are pretty much available in every part of India, be it a tourist place or a non-touristic place. Number 5 is eat where the locals eat. Now, if you go to any tourist place, like you go to Rajasthan and you go to the cafes or the restaurants over there, you will see basic dal rice priced at anywhere between 200 to 500 rupees. This is because their entire menu is catering to the tourist and to the foreigners. So if you want to save your money and not spend an inflated amount on basic food, then go and eat where the locals eat. And the best way to get this is ask the people over there or check on Google Maps. You will find local eateries in the form of dabas, which are very famous. They serve very good food, but at the same time, they're not going to be overpriced. Number 6 is booking a group tour. Now, this is something which is very common in India. You'll find tons and tons of operators selling you group packages. But one thing that I would suggest is be mindful of the low budget guys and the ones who are claiming that they're going to do everything in a shoestring budget, because all of these people are going to do it as what they're promising, but they're not telling you the reality is that you're going to be going with anywhere between 30 to 60 people, and it's going to be a mela. It's going to be like going on a school trip. If you want a real authentic experience, we at Tilo do have trips happening throughout the year around the country and to Nepal and Bhutan and Sri Lanka. You can click on the link in the description in this video. You can go to our website and you can check out what you like. If you like it, you can proceed with the booking, or you can contact our sales team who will guide you through the booking process. If you have any queries about your personal travel around India, you can leave a comment under this video in the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to reply. If you have any further queries and you want to get in touch with us, you will have to book a consultation, which is a paid service. Number 7 is avoiding last minute booking. And this is very, very important, because a lot of people today think that there are so many travel vendors, there are so many hotels, so many homestays, so many hostels, that the later we book, the cheaper it's going to get. That's a hit and miss. You can get a cheaper deal, but more over the lost, you'll end up spending more. And that's specifically when it comes to your flights, your bus, and your accommodation. These are three places where the later you go, the costlier you will pay. Even in off season, you'll see that the flights, if you're going to be booking 1 week in advance, the same flight what you could have booked maybe a month ago would have been half the cost of what you're booking there, and that's pretty much what you would end up spending for maybe 3 or 4 days accommodation in a hostel. So please, the minute you're thinking about going and you finalize, first thing, go and book your flight tickets or your train tickets, so you're not ending up spending a bomb. Number 8 is using a recycled water bottle. Now, this is by far, I would say, the single most stupidest way to waste money and to avoid saving on a trip is when you're going and buying packaged water every day throughout the day. A lot of people like that, but those are the people who are not looking to save money when they're traveling. But if you're the kind of person who really cares about saving money when you're traveling, then you really cannot waste money on packaged drinking water. So, what's the workaround? You carry a 1 liter bottle with you in your homestay, in your hostel, or the restaurants you eat, and plenty of centers around the country where you'll be traveling. There are water refillers. You can go there. Sometimes you'll find the water ATM where they'll charge you around rupees 5 for 500 ml and 10 rupees for a liter. You can refill your water, and this is all RO'd water. If not, at the homestays, they'll definitely have a RO water filter. You can refill it over there. So you by default have 1 liter of water with you or 2 liters to explore along the way. This way, if you're going for a week and you're going to be buying 2 to 3 liters of water per day, you do the maths. It's 60 rupees into 7. That becomes close to around 500 rupees unwanted expense. That's per person. So overall, carry plus carry a packaged drinking water bottle with you is just going to even harm the environment, because by default that same plastic is then discarded in a dustbin, which is then a plastic waste on the earth. If you're someone who cares about the environment as much as you care about your money, then carry a bottle which can be refilled, and that can be your lifesaver for yourself and for the planet. Number 9 is pack smart. Now, by this I mean do not overpack, nor should you underpack, but pack basic things that you need. Carry your phone charger, carry an extra USB cable if you're going for a long period of time. Carry enough clothes that you are not going overweight, but at the same time you have enough so that whenever you are traveling, you can either use the laundry service or you can wash the clothes yourself if you're staying at a place for 2 3 days and the sunlight is good. But remember, packing smart is very important in how to go about traveling. If you want to understand how to go about packing, we do have separate videos talking and dealing with packing for your particular trip based on a destination. You can check it out on our YouTube channel or go to our website and find blogs for the same. Number 10 is using travel apps for discounts. So now there are plenty of travel apps that have discounts. Like for example, if you're going for accommodation, you'll find many booking portals which will give you a cheaper deal than what they're offering you when you talk to the hostel or the hotel directly or the homestay, because these portals already have bought these rooms in bulk and they want to just get rid of them, so they'll offer you internal discounts. Likewise with the bus booking, the only place where you won't get a discount is on the railways, since the booking is only with the Indian Railways, and that's the only place. Regardless of that, if you're going for the flight tickets also, you'll get a better deal if you book from a third party agent. That is an online portal, I mean. Number 11 is visiting places which are free. Now, there are plenty of places that are free for you to visit. Like, for example, if you're at Goa, you can go to the beach, which is a free place to visit. If you are if you're bored of the beach, you can go to the market, you can wander through the flea market, you can visit the churches, you can also go and visit, I would say, the nightlife. There are plenty of nightlife places in Goa which do not charge you money. All that you have to do is just go there and party and come back. And this is typically the case when it is off season. During the season time, they will charge you for everything. Now, this is what you can do in Goa and the beach towns. If you're going to the mountains, to the Himalayas, you can always sit by the river. You can wander through the villages. You can sit in a monastery. The choice is yours, but there are plenty of free things to do. You can also go to the forest area and just wander. Likewise, there are free things for you to do, but they're not going to be that exciting unless you actually go wander and go off the usual trail, because these kind of free trails aren't really listed up. You have to discover it yourself or ask a local who can help you discover something amazing. Number 12 is limit your shopping. Now, shopping is one area that most tourists end up getting trapped into. They'll come with a budget of 100 or 500 rupees for the entire shopping for their trip, and then they'll end up spending close to 2-3,000 just because online payment is very convenient in India. So the best way to go around it is stick to your budget and do not get trapped into the thing that because you're seeing so many things, you're getting carried away and you're shopping, because you might start with just buying fridge magnets and end up buying something way more than 100 rupee fridge magnet and spend a couple of thousands over there, and that could end up toppling your entire trip budget, and experience will go for a toss because you've compromised your entire journey because of a little bit of extra shopping. So keep the shopping, I would say, for the last couple of days, and do not buy things which you feel are not necessary or things that you can get always online through any of the shopping portals. Number 13 is choosing overnight buses and trains. This comes really, really handy. Like, I'll give you an example. If you're traveling from Nagaland to Guwahati, which is in Assam, or going from Assam to Guwahati, the best way to get around is by taking the local train. There are plenty of intercity trains which ply during the day and the night, but if you want to save money, you can take the train that goes in the night. So that way, what happens is from Dimapur, you will reach Guwahati in the morning, and this way you end up saving the cost of staying in a hotel or a hostel or a homestay, and end up saving money because you've traveled the journey and you have saved money by not having to stay in a hotel. But the downside of this is you'll end up missing on the view, because the view is why you travel. So if you want the view, you'll have to travel in the daytime. Likewise, if you're going from Manali to Leh, or from Delhi to Manali, or from Bombay to Goa, it's better for you to do the overnight train journey or the bus journey. This way you end up saving, like I said, one night of accommodation. Number 14 is setting a daily budget. Now, when you're planning on going to a particular place based on where you're traveling, you already have done your research and you have a fixed budget that you want to stick to. Stick to the budget is what I would say. Spend that much amount on stays. Do not overspend on food, because that is one area that you will end up spending way more if you cannot control your budget. And at the same time, like I mentioned, do not go crazy on shopping from day one. If you are on a limited budget, my personal strategy for you would be book your accommodations in advance, so that is taken care of. The second thing that you can do is book your internal travel also, if it is possible, online. Book it online and that lock that in. So these two important areas are already fixed. The third thing, which is variable, is your food, and for that you can stick to a budget of maybe 500 or 1,000 rupees based on what kind of a traveler you are. If you are a foodie, you'll need 1,000-1,500 rupees per day for the food to try out in each place, depending on where you're going. So this way, overall per day, as a solo traveler, you can keep a budget of anywhere between 3,500 for everything, for your stay, your travel, and for your food, depending on how much you want. If you really want to go I would say shoestring, then you can even do it in the budget of 1500 rupees, where 500 rupees for your bunk bed, 500 rupees is to explore, maybe get a scooter for 400, put another 100 200 rupees of fuel in it, and then eat veg food for the rest of your 3 meals and survive on that in a 1500 rupee budget. Number 15 is planning your blueprint efficiently. Now, this is where most people go wrong, because what do they do is, if they want to go to a place, they'll go on to ChatGPT and they'll say they want to do explore Ladakh in 7 days, the best possible blueprint or itinerary, and then they'll get something from ChatGPT, and then they'll go based on the budget and the routing that ChatGPT or any AI platform has given them. Now, remember, these AI platforms are just generating things that are there on the internet, which may or may not be right. If it is right, very good, but if it is wrong, it's going to be a disaster for you. And I would say 9 out of 10 times what ChatGPT and other AI platforms give you is not really very accurate when it comes to travel, because it's like you're cooking food without salt. When you actually end up executing the trip in practicality, you'll realize that your routing is not correct. The places that they have mentioned, some are open, some are not, and also the budget that they've given you is pretty outdated, because you have to understand one thing, that the fuel cost in India has gone up during the war with Iran and US in the last few months, and because of that there's been at least a 30-40% hike in the vehicles across the country for the tourist vehicles. But when you put it on ChatGPT, they'll give you the cost which is based on 2025, 24, 25, which is pretty outdated based on the current situation. And this, what this does is, when you actually go onto the road and you're planning your trip, everything is going to go for a toss, because your entire budgeting is going to be haywire, because the costing has been completely bogus. Now, finally, I will conclude by saying, by all the tips that I have suggested and given to you in this video, the only thing that you need to understand is that you save money where it is needed. Do not be crazy after saving money and counting every penny that you're spending. Remember, there are certain experiences that you might never get again in your life. Like if you're going to Assam and Meghalaya, and you're not going to go for the jeep safari at Kaziranga, you might never ever come back over there. You'll never get to see the one-horned rhino in your life, because that's the only place in the world that the one-horned rhino exists in. Some will say that you can see it in Chitwan in Nepal, but honestly, the sighting in Nepal is very bad compared to what you can see it in Kaziranga. Kaziranga, you can see the rhinos at a distance of 100, 200 meters from you. At Chitwan, you'll have to see them at a distance of maybe 500 meters to a kilometer away. That's how far the sighting is. So overall, there are certain things in India which are very unique to India. So when you're there, make sure that you visit these places. Do not be penny wise, pound foolish, is what I would like to conclude this entire video with. And remember, till our next video, stay safe, stay happy, stay blessed, and cover the earth before it covers you.